bouncing back, getting that win in Emporia. Talk to me about that game and what getting that first MIAA win does for this team.
Yeah, and going on the road to do it too. And I think just with anything new, coaching staff and new guys on the floor, winning really important just to help create belief and individual confidence and the things that you think, but then when it comes to fruition and works out and you get a result that goes in your favor, I think that's the biggest thing as far as anything is just a little bit better or lighter energy in practice this week, and just the belief of okay, it's working, let's stay with it. It will probably be the biggest benefit of that win.
Things you think. Emery's been really good this year. Hasn't busted out like that, obviously. Having a game like that, what's that do for him? And I don't think he lacks for confidence or anything, but coming out, what can a game like that do to kind of jumpstart into this MIAA season? Yeah,
I don't think it's a deal where every night out we're going to expect 24 and a half out of him. But also water finding level a little bit there for him. I know that he had been frustrated wanting to contribute more, specifically on the offensive end, on how it had gone early and with some shot making and efficiency type stuff. And so him and Marcus both, I think, Marcus in the last 2 or 3 games, after maybe a typical freshman type start to his season, where those guys are getting a little bit more comfortable and like anything, you see the ball go in and remember and just relax a little bit. I feel like for those 2 guys as well as our group, had just been some weight, or some tension, mostly self-imposed. One knowing that they'd put in some work in the off season and we're getting an opportunity here then either on the floor or have a moment and when it hadn't gone, how we maybe anticipated it going in those first 2 or 3 weeks. The buildup of the stress going, and so just not that we've arrived in any way, shape, or form, having won one in a row here, but certainly just a little sense of relaxing and remembering who we are and why we're here and that we've earned the right to be here as far as like on our group and all that. So the MIAA race is already shaping up 2 games in, just to being a wild ride where I think you got 8 teams already at 1-1 and some close games and some overtime games and not knowing how it's going to go. Certainly feel like stealing one on the road there was important.
Yeah, is that just an example of the wild ride you mentioned there with, your little round robin with Emporia and Mo West, everybody ends up 1-1 after it, so everybody beats each other. Is that just an example of kind of you never know night to night in this league? You
do never know, and we'll see obviously how it plays out. Sometimes college kids, there starts to be some trends, but certainly hard to identify any. Just 2 games into it here, and even looking at non-conference games, and a night where most nights where the MIAA does well, and a couple of nights where you see some funny scores, and you're just trying to figure that out, and then you realize, we got enough problems or ability or time to just coach our own team, where we don't spend a whole lot of time looking, too far down the road. But human nature is to kind of look around the league, and it looks like just a full slate of talented teams again.
Coach, going on the road out to Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington coming up, a lot of Bearcat fans around the area may not even know that those schools existed.
Yeah.
But talk about who those schools are, what you've seen, some of the things that they pose that may be different than stuff you're going to see night to night in the MIAA, or are those schools aligned with a lot of those things that you're seeing night to night in here in the Midwest?
It is interesting just stylistically how play changes in different pockets of the country, and so just a new one up there. I think I saw in the notes that we've never played Northwest Naz in our 100 however many plus year history, so kind of fun to in one way or another we're going to have a first in that this year. Not a lot of opportunities to have firsts with our program and the great tradition that it's had, but a first time of ever playing Northwest Naz. But yeah, you look at their records, and it's very similar to teams we played. They're 6-1, they're 6-3. They're both off to great starts. So certainly haven't done ourselves any favors there in the idea of just getting a chance to go out and feel good about ourselves. But still believing and thinking whether it's the non-cons we played or these, it's going to have us very well prepared for that schedule that we just referenced in the MIAA. Our best is going to be required night in and night out, so we're going to have to keep those same habits as we play both of these teams out there of expecting to need our best in order to get the W.